For today's video, while the beta worlds are still active, I wanted to test out one of the new Wildy weapons. And considering Callisto is probably my favorite out of all the wilderness bosses, I decided for that weapon to be the Ursine Chainmace. The Ursine Chainmace is essentially a upgraded version of the Vigorra's Chainmace. So for our test, we decided to throw both of the Chainmaces head to head to see how much better the Ursine Chainmace actually is. And just for some extra fun, I decided to also throw in the Osmumten's Fang because it is now considered the best in-slot for Callisto. So we're going to see how all three of these weapons stack up and which one actually is the best. But before we jump into all of the stats, let's go ahead and talk about the strategy and gear I used. The gear I used was basically pretty simple. I just wore proselyte, climbing boots, barrows gloves, the Avernic, along with a Nezi helm. With this current setup and protect item on, you risk very little GP. Another thing to note is I did just use the face tank method along with using Venge. Realistically, in the current pre-update state, there are multiple safe spots you can use for Callisto, but personally I'm not much of a fan and I'd rather just do it the old-fashioned way with a couple kill trips. So now with all of the intro fluff out of the way, let's go ahead and jump straight into the numbers. For this test, I ended up doing 15 kills with each of the three weapons. Obviously, that's not the biggest sample size, but I did feel like it was big enough to counteract any insane RNG I could have got on any specific kill. So let's kick things off with the Vigorra's Chainmace. The fastest kill we were able to get out of the initial 15 came in 51 seconds, and the longest kill we had took 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Quite a big variety between those two, but it brought us out to an average through all 15 of the kills at 1 minute and 33 seconds. Oh, and one last thing to note is we used 472 charges between those 15 kills with this Chainmace. Moving on, let's go ahead and just jump straight over to the Ursine Chainmace, the direct upgrade to the Vigorra's Chainmace. And obviously, considering the Ursine is better in every category than the Vigorra's, you would expect these numbers to look better. But it goes to show you how much of a factor RNG is, because our PR with the Ursine came in at 53 seconds, which is 2 seconds slower than the fastest kill we had with the Vigorra's. And our longest kill with the Ursine actually came in at exactly the same amount of time at 2 minutes and 17 seconds. But the real category we're testing is the average kill time, and ultimately that's where the Ursine pulled away. Through 15 kills, the average kill with the Ursine Chainmace came down to 1 minute and 26 seconds. So definitely nothing crazy, but a solid 7 seconds faster on average than the Vigorra's. But now for the final weapon we tested, which was the Osmumten's Fang, which as of right now and prior to the Wildy update coming later this year is considered the best in slot for Callisto. Our PR time with the Fang was the fastest out of any of the three weapons we tested, and it came in at 49 seconds. The slowest kill we had was also a good bit faster, coming in at 2 minutes and 1 second, but the average time ultimately came in directly tied with the Ursine Chainmace at 1 minute and 26 seconds. So for our final results, the Fang obviously is currently better than the Vigorra's Chainmace. Keep in mind though, this was only a 15 kill sample size, so maybe over the long run if you did 100, maybe 250 kills, you would see a distinct difference between the Fang and the new Ursine Chainmace. But another major thing to keep in mind is you do have to charge the Chainmaces with Ether. Each Chainmace requires you to put in 1000 Ether just to have its buffed effect. And then it also uses an additional 1 Ether per attack. So there is an additional cost of use and risk that the Fang doesn't have, but there's also a big difference in cost considering the Vigorra's Chainmace comes in at a GE price of 11 mil, and as of making this video, the Fang currently sits at 180 mil. Unfortunately, we don't know the current price of the Ursine Chainmace because it is yet to be released. But outside of the price you're going to pay within the first week of release, I can guarantee you that the Ursine is not going to go any higher than what the Fang currently sits. The Ursine is probably going to find its way in the 20 to 30 mil range. And another thing to keep in mind is that we did this test at Callisto, which is one of the highest defense monsters in the wilderness. So this boss in specific is definitely one where the Fang is going to excel in comparison to the Chainmaces. Whereas in comparison to something like Revenants, you would see the Ursine Chainmace pull away and do considerably more damage in the long run. So my completely final thoughts are that the Fang will continue to be the best in slot at Callisto, but that comes with the price tag of being by far the most expensive out of all three weapons, even if in the long run the Ursine does happen to edge it out in average kill time. One stat I forgot to mention earlier is that the Ursine did have the most sub 1 minute kills. Realistically, at this boss specifically, As long as you have access to the most expensive weapon, I don't see the reason to have the extra risk of the guaranteed ether loss if you do happen to get PK'd with either of the chain maces. And as a quick little comparison before we end off the video, considering that later this year Callisto's drops are going to get changed, here is the loot from 50 pre-buffed Callistos. It comes out to a total of 2.855 mil, which is about an average of I think 57k per kill. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any of the rare drops, being either the ring or the dragon pick. Nonetheless, I definitely made some solid money, and I'm very interested to see what their drops look like once this update actually comes into the game. But that's going to do it for today. If you guys did enjoy the video or found it helpful, consider dropping a like. It massively helps me out. And if you're around here often and you're not already, hit that subscribe button down below so you're notified every time a new video goes live. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next video.